Today, I'll be sharing the exact tips and advice that exploded the growth of my biceps. If I had known these things from day one, my arms would have progressed a lot sooner. So in saying that, I invite you to sit down with me, watch this video from start to finish, and invest just 8 minutes into yourself this week instead of scrolling your life away on TikTok. I guarantee it's going to be time well spent. This is the basics. Our biceps have 2 main muscles and another 2 support muscles that all contribute to the size and strength of your biceps. The first is called the brachialis, which is beneath your actual biceps and the strongest of the 4 muscles in terms of lifting power. Then we have both the short and long head of your biceps, which is mainly why you're watching this video, since these are basically what give you the aesthetic appeal in your arms. And the final one is called the brachioradialis. Now, although this isn't technically a bicep muscle, this works hand in hand with your short and long head, as well as your brachialis to perform most exercises. Training all of these muscles is how I was able to achieve big biceps fast. I'll talk more about exercise selection in a moment, but the most important piece of advice is actually prioritizing technique and form over weight. This is the first step to building your biceps before lifting any weight. Unfortunately, most beginners in their first 1 to 2 years of training listen to bro science and believe that lifting the heaviest weight is the key to muscle growth. This couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is that if your sole focus is lifting the heaviest weight you can, it'll just lead to injuries and ineffective workouts. When you prioritize your technique, you ensure that your biceps are doing the majority of the work. It's about doing your best to isolate and engage the right muscles effectively. Imagine you're doing dumbbell bicep curls with sloppy form. Just like this, swinging the weights and relying on your back and shoulders to lift. Now, in this scenario, your biceps wouldn't get much benefit of the exercise because larger muscle groups will take over. To make sure that your biceps do get the full benefit of each exercise, focus on mastering posture control. Don't rush through your sets. Instead, concentrate on feeling the contraction in your biceps and maintaining correct technique throughout each rep. Leading me into the next point, which is maximizing range of motion and tempo over weight. To achieve aesthetic looking biceps, again, it isn't about the amount you can lift. It's about using the right weight efficiently. The first method is putting your biceps through a full range of motion. When you perform exercises with full flexion and extension, you engage more muscle fibers, which overall leads to better growth. I want you to imagine you're doing a dumbbell bicep curl with half reps like this, where you're not fully extending or bending your arm all the way. In this scenario, again, your biceps won't be seeing the full benefit of the exercise. A complete range is where you'll see the most growth. Therefore, to maximize your gains, you have to focus on allowing your biceps to fully stretch and contract during each repetition. Another critical tip for massive biceps is controlling the tempo of your reps. When you slow down the eccentric phase of the exercise, the part where you lower the weight down, you create more muscle damage, in a good way. This controlled lowering of the weight stimulates greater growth because it's under tension for a longer period of time. Aim to lower the weight slowly and deliberately, feeling the resistance in your biceps throughout the entire movement. So, with improper form and a limited range of motion, you are significantly reducing the potential for gains. This leads me into my next point, which is exercise selection for maximum bicep gains. As mentioned earlier, We have to consider both bicep muscles and the two supporting muscles when choosing exercises for your training. Here is a list of exercises that I recommend and what has contributed significantly to the growth of my biceps. To target the short and long head of your biceps, you can do a straight bar barbell bicep curl. If you find these don't feel comfortable on your wrists or elbows, instead, you can add the easy bar barbell bicep curl into your training. Some other good exercises that concentrate on your main bicep muscles are the incline bench supinated curl, where you're using the dumbbells with your palms facing up, and a straight bar drag curl, where you focus on driving your elbows back and up. Again, if this feels uncomfortable, use the easy bar instead. For more advanced exercises that target your short and long head, you can do a double D handle cable bicep curl, a chest supported incline supinated bicep curl, and a cable bicep curl with a straight bar or with an easy bar. To target your brachialis and brachioradialis, you can do dumbbell hammer curls, either cross body or on an incline bench, like how I have it set up on screen. You can also do a pronated bicep curl, either with dumbbells, a straight bar, or an easy bar. This is where you have your palms facing down. For an advanced exercise that targets these support muscles, you can do a rope cable bicep curl, ideally using a long rope if you have one available. If you want hybrid exercises that target all four muscles at once, which has been my personal preference lately, you can do a dumbbell bicep curl with a supinated twist, either standing or on an incline bench. Basically, you start with the dumbbells parallel, rotating outward until you reach the top of the rep, slowly controlling back down with your palms facing up before resetting back to parallel. Select no more than 2 of these bicep exercises to do in your workouts and perform between 6 and 8 total work-in sets. Do 8 to 20 reps and sometimes even up to 30 reps if you're throwing in job sets. That's what I did that exploded the growth of my biceps. So I really hope that you learned something from today's video and can apply it to your own training. Comment below if you found this helpful and I'll create more coaching videos like this one. Finally, if you're interested in one-on-one coaching, you can find the links to my website down in the description below. While you're there, don't forget to leave me a thumbs up and slap the subscribe button for a yearly supply of gains. For more videos like this one, you can find them right here.